Tonight, Texas is a step closer to executing a man with autism that many believe is innocent in the 2002 death of his 2-year-old daughter. If put to death on Thursday as scheduled, 57-year-old Robert Roberson will become the first person in the U.S. executed based on the now highly controversial shaken baby syndrome diagnosis. Today, a district judge denied a motion by Roberson's lawyers to toss the execution warrant against him. Tomorrow, a Texas board is expected to make a recommendation to the governor as to whether he should spare Roberson's life. I met Roberson on death row 3 weeks ago.
No, I'm not focusing on that because I would like to believe that the governor and the parole board would do the right thing.
His plight has generated bipartisan support among politicians, medical experts, and even the detective who arrested him, all calling for his execution to be halted. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.